Hey, how's it going? David Taub here with NextLevelGuitar.com. Hope all's going well, and I hope your guitar and musical journeys are going famously. I'm really excited about the lesson today. We're going to go over some melodic soloing concepts and devices in the style of, inspired by Opeth and Michael Acafort's playing, based off the song Window Pane from their 2003 release Damnation, which is kind of a departure from their previous records, the more brutal death metal stuff that they did. And I really like how they kind of evolved into this newer generation of progressive metal bands. And you could hear that in their records, right? Like listen to Watershed, it's all over that, right? And certainly in their later releases. Interesting rhythmic elements and time changes, and in Window Pane especially, you know, they're bouncing back and forth between 6/8 time and 4/4 time. But the big thing is the soloing is just chocked full of melodic devices and techniques and cool kind of note choices and things that we could really study and examine and maybe use it for inspiration in our own playing. That's the thing about a lot of these concepts, devices, techniques, is they work with any scale you're doing, so we can pull these things from our favorite solos, our favorite players, things that inspire us, and we could use those as we build our own voice on the instrument and develop our own voice. Now I'm in standard tuning for this lesson, low to high, E, A, D, G, B, and E. The jam track that I'm using in this lesson is very Window Pane inspired. We're in the key of F sharp minor, and it's basically an F sharp minor 9 chord to a D major 7. That's the main progression, and then there's the other part that goes to a C sharp major to an F sharp minor to a D. And again, we're in 6/8 time. And before we get rocking, if you could do me a huge favor, please subscribe to the channel, because subscribing to the channel, that really helps us to keep bringing the content, as well as then you'll be notified when we have new lessons posted. Leave a comment below, right? Let me know how you like this lesson. Let me know what lessons you'd like to see coming up. And if you like this video, please click the like button. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and thank you so much for your support. So I'll play a few licks, and then we'll go in and dissect them one at a time. So let's just take this first lick. A lot of the soloing for this song is based on F sharp natural minor, F sharp Aeolian mode. That scale looks like this. Off of our root note F sharp here at that 9th fret. And he's landing a lot on those F sharp notes, or the 5th, the C sharp, those strong chord tones, right? And his note choice is very important, really lends into this style of play. And that's why it's so important to always know the chords that you're soloing over, right? That's why I always in my lessons I go over the chords of the track, because the chords really give you the full roadmap to all the soloing avenues. The key is only a small part of it. Those notes in that F sharp natural minor scale, F sharp Aeolian, are the 1 F sharp, and then you have the 2 G sharp, you have that flat 3A, 4th B, 5th C sharp, D is your flat 6, and E is your flat 7. Okay, so he does a lick a lot where he'll play that device, right? And this we'll use later in the solo too. So how he starts is he's bending and vibratoing, holding the bend with vibrato. He does that a lot too. So the 12th fret, we're bending that to the 14th. We're bending that B to the C sharp. And then he does it again. And then he does this little hammer-on device where he's hammering off of the high E string now, hammering 9, pulling 10. Then goes to 12, back to 12 on the B string. Right? He does that a lot in his solo. Okay, that's a cool little device. So you're hammering 9, 10, 12 on the B, back to 9 on the high E. And he does a little bend device where he's bending the 12th fret again, but he's killing it, and then he strikes the note unbent. Then he gets this nice half step movement. Right, he's on that G sharp to A. Lot of vibrato. Lick slow. Vibrato. And if you want to see some of these scales diagrammed out on paper, because sometimes it's nice to have that visual connection on paper as you're studying this, right? I can help you with that. Click on the link in the YouTube description box below. I'll send you my largest killer rock blues soloing ebook. It's packed. I have like 29 scales diagrammed out. It's just a great reference tool that you'll use throughout your guitar journey. And I'll pair it also with a video lesson on some easy ways that you could spice up your soloing, but I'll send them both to you for free, the video lesson and ebook. Just click on that link below. Another lick in the style, something like this. Okay, what's going on here? A couple reasons why this lick sounds cool. And again, we're in this F sharp natural minor, F sharp Aeolian scale. He uses rakes a lot in his soloing to add a little bit of cool sound. So here I'm raking on that D and G string with my right hand, just laying it right on the string, and then I'm sounding the B string. 9 to 10 hammer and pull again. Then you back right down the scale, 11-9 G string, 11-9 D, and a whole step down to 7th on the D. So you get this. Then we're doing a whole step bend on that 9 to 11th fret on the D string. And notice you bend and you release it. Back to 7 on the D, and you end it on the F sharp note. We're ending it on our root note, the vibrato. The note choice and the nuance in his playing. All these things go into the sound, taking the notes and doing interesting things with them. Another cool thing about his note choice is this. He'll play a lick like this. It seems like a very simple lick, but it sounds very cool for a couple reasons, right? He's sliding up now to that D sharp note, which is very interesting because D sharp, remember, is not in the F sharp natural minor scale. D sharp is actually, remember, D is in the scale. He's playing a half step higher. So he's pulling now from F sharp Dorian, which is very interesting and cool. And it still works because she's playing over the F sharp minor chords. So you could use over minor chords. You could use natural minor, you could use Aeolian, you could also use Dorian. But he's getting your brain kind of used to hearing those natural mining, that D, the natural minor notes, that D note, and then you throw in the D sharp, and your ear hears that, and it sounds cool. So that's nice. And then he gets that chromatic movement because he passes through that D. And a lot of vibrato there on that C sharp note again, ending on the C sharp, the 5th. Then he might play a lick like this. Alright, and that's cool because he's playing that 7th fret on the B, 6th fret on the G, then going back up to the 9th fret into this natural minor shape I showed you. And he's bending that, bending 9 to 10. Holding the bend, letting it down, and then doing that bend multiple times. Bending that, again, he's bending that G sharp to A note. So you're bending it up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, only picking it once. And I just end it on that F sharp for the resolution, ending back on our root note. But that, again, that G sharp note, he's bending the G sharp to the A. That G sharp note is really nice, and he uses that note a lot. That's the 2nd or the 9th, and that 9th is a great note in melodic soloing because it's very, has a lot of drama. I love that 9th, and he really takes advantage of that. So that together you kind of vibrato. We feel that bend. So already you could see like how these devices and techniques are really starting to add up and go into the soloing, right? Let's move down here to another part of the neck, and let's use this F sharp natural minor scale for some more inspired licks. This is off our F sharp here at the 2nd fret. That scale looks like this: F sharp Aeolian, F sharp natural minor. Another cool little device he'll do is something like this. Okay, getting some cool sounds again, doing our raking. We're raking now across the A and the D, and then I'm playing the 2nd fret on the G, hammering it to the 4th. And then after I hammer to the 4th, I go to that 1st fret on the G string. G sharp note again. What's that? That's our 9th, right? With vibrato, right? So you get those cool rake sounds, that cool 9th. And then you could add on this lick. Alright, some cool stuff going on there. Now this lick I played first. Remember the lick we played up here? Right? Remember I told you he likes that device? So that's the same thing we're doing, but we're doing it down here. We're hammering the 1st to the 2nd and pulling off on the 1st on the G string. And then we're going to the 4th fret on the D, and then back to that 1st fret on the G. He likes that. He likes that device. And then I'm going 2nd fret on the D, sliding to the 4th with vibrato. Then he'll play something like that, which is really cool because he's adding in this blue note, this flat 5 from the blues scale. 2nd, 3rd, 4th on the A string, and we're ending it on that C sharp, ending it on the 5th, right? So that's part of that F sharp blues scale. See the flat 5? There it is again. Lick slow. Another cool lick using that natural minor scale and the 9th and the 2nd. Here we're taking the 9th, that G sharp, bending it again, half step up to that A note. So another raking across that G and B string, sounding our 2nd fret on the high E, playing our 4th fret, 5th fret on the high E. And we're doing our half step bend on the 4th fret. Then I bar with 1st finger, 2nd fret on the high E, B, G, and slide it to our 1st fret to our G sharp note on that G string. Hold that bend, let it down. Fun lick. All right, we'll finish off doing some licks up high, maybe using some bends and whatnot. Let me play a couple and then we'll go back and dissect. Okay, so what I'm doing here is we're bending the E up to the F sharp. So I'm at the 17th fret, and I'm raking into that bend too with vibrato. And then you take the 12th fret on the B string, and we're going to bend that one too. So we're bending that up on the B string 12th fret, but bend it fast, all the way up a whole step, and then release it. Then bend it slow. So you get that quick bend, and then the slow bend, right? Kind of a cool technique. And then I played this. Hammering 10th fret to 12 on the B string, and then 12 to 14 twice with vibrato. You get this. Vibrato. Leave lots of space, right? Like you heard me do with the intro. And then he uses this kind of device, which I find really interesting. Okay, and that's where you're playing a note and then hammering, then backing up a note, hammering to the previous note, backing up another note, hanging up to the, and then hammering up to the note that you just played before that. And then I ended on that F sharp for resolution. So here it's a hammer from 14 to 15, then hammer, and this is all on the B string, from 12 to 14. and then back up, hammer from 10 to 12. You can do that with any scale. That lick slow. And I ended on that 11th fret G string with vibrato. All three. As you can see, it's so important to study the work of some of our favorite players, right? Because there's so much to unpack, and there's so many little things and nuances that really go into those sounds. And in these instances, you know, we have stuff like note choice, landing on strong chord tones, using, you know, modal playing, Aeolian mode, natural minor, doing half-step bends and really milking them, milking that vibrato, that use of the ninth, right? That second, that really melodic note, which has so much drama. All things that's just adding interest and different sounds. It's all about the sounds. So lay down those chords in a jam track and just get lost in it and have fun with it. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. That really helps us to keep the content coming, as well as then you'll be notified when I have new lessons up. And I have a lot of really killer stuff coming up. I don't want you to miss it. So please subscribe to the channel. And also don't forget, click on that link in the YouTube description box and I'll send you my free ebook and video lesson. Ebook is packed with soloing strategies, scale diagrams, lessons, paired with a video lesson on easy ways to spice up your soloing. Send them both to you for free. Just click on that link below. And if you like this style or genre of music, check out my original band. I recently dropped a new record with my original band, Mind Cell. We're based out of San Diego, California. It's a slamming record. I'm really stoked about it. I'd love for you to hear it. It's streaming on all the platforms. I'll put links to it below in the YouTube description box. Check it out and then drop me a line. Let me know what you think of the record, the songs. Let me know if you have any questions on the guitar tones or the studio production. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks so much for checking out this lesson, and thank you so much for your support over the years and years. I so appreciate it. I wish you the best in your guitar journey. Certainly feel free to email me any questions. Keep up all that hard work on those guitars. Keep having fun with it. And remember, your guitar playing is an evolution. So enjoy the journey. Take care, rock on, and I will see you in the next lesson.